Guess who's back? Back again. Hey, listen. I am back. I am back. I am back. Alright, anyway, let's just get into this reaction. Get me. If you were watching me live earlier in the day, you'll realize I was reacting to King Top Comes Clean about the 1994 quad studio incident with Tupac Shakur, which actually he didn't necessarily come clean. He was waffling, but doesn't matter. Let's just get into the next video. And I think I will react to Tupac's cousin mentioning King Top. And incidentally enough, 5 hours ago, Napoleon listened to the disturbing audio of Big Stretch, and I referenced Big Stretch. I mentioned his name in the other thing. You see what I'm gonna say? So I'm gonna have to react to that as well. Like, here's what it is. But I've seen that Kendrick Lamar has also dropped. So I'm definitely going to react to a Kendrick Lamar song that he just dropped as well. There's just so much things to react to. But first things first, because in fact, maybe, let me see something real quick. See, look, Haitian Jack heartbroken when he heard his name on Tupac mentioned his name. Here we go. Let's just get into this, react to this real quick. So Tupac's cousin and that, you know what I'm saying? William Lesane, which is funny because what was Tupac's actual name? Let me double check what the name was again. He was born a different name, innit?
There was an interview that Tupac did.
Hold on. Yeah, LaShawn Paris Crooks. Yeah, he had that name had to change still. I can't even lie. Anyway, let's go.
And where he talked about, I believe, you being in prison in relation to the Quad Studio.
By the way, the person who's speaking behind, all right, so it's interesting. It's in the art dialogue. They have Art himself, but then they also have Delray Richardson. You know what I'm saying? No, is it Delray? Yeah, Delray Richardson. But anyway,
in it being a setup, who was involved, who was responsible. And he said, because my cousin was locked up with him, and you evidently relayed a message to Tupac as to who you found out.
Let's rewind that. Let's turn on the captions and let's see exactly what is being asked and what is being said. Yeah.
There was an interview that Tupac did, and where he talked about, I believe, you being in prison in relation to the Quad Studio, and it being a setup, who was involved, who was responsible. And he said, because my cousin was locked up with him, and you evidently relayed a message to Tupac as to who you found out.
Hearing it, it's Tupac that said his cousin told him. You see what I'm gonna say? Ben, let's keep moving.
Who shot him or who was involved with that? Take me through that and give me what you told Tupac at that time, because you were locked up evidently, and tell me, how did that all transpire?
Yeah, so that's a hell of a story in itself too, man. So we all came. Tupac had already had the rape case.
Okay.
Right? The rape case, he was going back and forth to court for that.
Right.
And he was living in Atlanta at the time.
So you were in jail at the time?
No.
No, you weren't. You were home. Okay.
We were home.
Okay.
We came to New York together.
Okay, got you.
Right? Him and I and the Outlaws. And we came to New York because he had to finish shooting the movie Bullet.
Okay.
And my job was to, of course.
That movie is a good movie. If you haven't watched it, make sure you go watch that movie. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Tag along with him everywhere he went, make sure he didn't get in any trouble.
Okay.
And all that. And for the first couple of days,
so was it Bullet above the rim?
It was Bullet.
It was Bullet. Okay.
Yeah, it was shot in Brooklyn.
Okay, got you. All right. Just wanted to make sure,
yeah. I remember because he kept the patch. He wears a patch. His character wears a patch in the movie.
That black patch.
Yeah.
Right.
And he kept that patch on.
Okay.
After shooting, because he stayed in character.
Okay.
Okay.
And,
so
I read.
What I'm trying to say in the other reaction. Yeah, I was trying to say, sometimes because I forgot the name of that role, like where a method acting. That's it. So basically, there's method acting, but there's also someone being himself, and it's interesting. There was an interview with someone from Digital Underground. I can't remember the person's name, but even they were saying, yeah, Tupac was actually in the movie Above the Rim. He was playing himself basically. He was just being himself. That this is the interesting thing about life is even someone else meant to go for that role. I forgot who it was. I think they were supposed to be ministers. It's the one that ended up being in Menace to Society, but they didn't get in. It's kind of ironic. They got the role in Menace to Society, but Tupac didn't get the role. If that makes sense. But he got the role, but we know what happened. You know what I'm saying? But he got fired from that role in it. But it's kind of interesting how the other person, forgot his name for now, but like, it's interesting how he was saying the whole situation. Like he got that job, but he didn't. No, was it him? I'm pretty sure it was him. He went for the same role. Then he realized, nah, this is for Tupac. This is, or it was someone. Basically, it was someone who realized, nah, this is definitely for Tupac. Definitely. Let's go.
That's why I know it was Bullet, right? But so for the first couple of days when we arrived in New York, I'm with him. We're going to the shoot in Brooklyn, and he's doing this thing. Then one night, I meet some of my old partners because we were staying. Our hotel was in the area where I made all my money, where all my people were at.
Okay.
Was in that area,
right?
Midtown New York. And by the way, my background at the time, I was never a big dope dealing type of dude.
Right.
Never sold a lot of dope, but I was a con man. I played 3-card money. I played top in the ball.
We know about smoking.
Old heads.
From Hustle, if you know, 3-card money. Anyway. I need to call it free smoking. Anyway, that side.
Sidewalk games. I was a short con player.
Okay.
Right. And in Midtown, in the area where our hotel was, that's where we all are at, in that area. It's a tourist area.
Okay.
Right. So that's where his hotel. So one night he was still shooting. He was in a hotel. I don't remember. I ran into some of my people out there and I started hanging with them. Long story short, I got arrested. I got knocked. I was on parole. And I couldn't get out.
Okay.
I couldn't get a bail.
Right.
Because I'm on parole.
See, when you tell a story of what happened, you don't waffle. You just say, okay, let me break down this story for you, exactly how things happen. Because first of all, we got to understand, how did he end up in jail to even understand? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, how did this happen? I mean, technically, it would have been better if it was a situation where said, well, I was in jail, and then this is what I heard. Like, you could easily just shorten it, but sometimes, painting a picture of what happened, like how he ended up in jail in the first place, and you know what I mean? It kind of, but then at the same time, it's kind of does it matter how and why he ended up in jail? But we just want to know, is it true that Tupac was referencing you? And if so, if he was referencing you, when did you find out? But I guess it is the case of, because of the whole situation when it comes down to the timeline is very key. Because even when I look at, let me just look at the thing here. Movie. So it was released in 96 there. All right, so let me see something. So the film was filmed in New York City in 1994 with a significant portion in Brooklyn. The film was released in October 1996, a month after Shakur's untimely situation. So basically, the interesting thing about this is it was filmed in New York in 1994. So we have to bear in mind of the actual timeline. Doesn't say the exact date of when it was filmed, but you know.
2 days later, Pac has this studio appointment at Quad. I didn't know about it.
Okay, so he did have a scheduled studio appointment. Okay, I was wrong. So I've seen this before, but I didn't remember him saying this. I think it's because obviously, you know, when you listen to something or you watch something, and especially with the title of the video, you're thinking, "Oh, wait, is that what they mean?" You're focused on that one specific thing. Sometimes you don't really pay attention to certain things. But then again, depending on who you are, me, that's how I am sometimes. You know what I mean? Especially if it's a significant event that's happened it happened anyway.
Before I got knocked, I didn't know about it. It wasn't nothing that he told me. You know, it wasn't planned, right? It wasn't on our schedule. It wasn't on our agenda. He was just there to shoot the movie.
Right.
But
you see, it wasn't on the schedule. It wasn't on the agenda. So technically, I'm still slightly right, because I'm sure if obviously you're within your own right not to tell like your cousin every single detail. Like you're within your right, but it's like if you're there to also protect at the same time, because obviously it's family at the same time, and you know how it could be. It's like, okay, well maybe he should know the schedule. Be like, oh, I'm meant to be here. But the reason why I thought it wasn't scheduled is because the way Little Sean tells the story, it's as if Tupac one didn't want to go to the studio, but he was going to the studio only to help. Do you get it? So that's how I took it.
But from what I heard, he did get a phone call. It was unexpected. So, of course, it wasn't planned. It was an unexpected situation that occurred.
Okay, so I just realized. So, filming dates of that movie was filmed between September the 12th, 1994 and November the 1st, 1994. Now, hear me out, yeah? When did... In fact, let me just put quote. Brooklyn, me go hard. Core Studios, Nightfall. You want the exact date? The exact date, when was it? November the 30th, 1994. So if you think about the timeline, they more or less just finished filming. They more or less finished filming that movie. So this is what I now want to know. Why didn't you not go back to where? I don't know.
None of us thought that it was going to happen, but it did. It occurred. He got a phone call from Lil Sean, from what I understand.
See, what did I say? I haven't seen this interview in a while, and obviously you realize that there's something he said that I didn't hear the last time, and I'm not being funny with you. I promise you, I didn't even know he mentioned Lil Sean's name in this. I promise you, I didn't realize. And this is what I'm trying to say, because I've seen interviews of Little Sean actually talking about it, and I could be wrong. But the way Little Sean's body language is and the way he talks, he 100% knows more than he is telling. I'm just saying. But anyway.
Invited him, you know, it was spontaneous. They invited him to come over and lay a verse.
Right.
And, but I was in jail when it happened. Now, so he goes to the studio and he gets shot, right? So I'm in Rikers Island. I'm in this joint called Beacon, right?
Okay.
Rikers Island. Beacon is wild.
So Beacon is like a quad.
No, Beacon is like a jail. Like Rikers Island got like 13 or 14 jails.
Right.
on one big island.
So it's like, is it a unit? It's like a unit?
No, it's a jail.
It's a whole different jail.
It's a whole building.
Wow, okay.
Right?
Okay.
With like 2,000 inmates in it.
Gotcha.
And Rikers Island has like 13 or 14 buildings like that.
Right.
Two or 3,000 inmates in it.
Wow.
In each one of them. That's why it's the largest jail in the city, in the country. It's the second largest jail in the country.
Okay.
So
insane, man.
I'm in Beacon. I'm in my cell. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning. There's trustees. We call them house gang. But I'll just say trustees so you're familiar with what I'm talking about. And these are guys that they keep the quad clean. You know, they serve the food when the food.
See, I'm liking the way he's telling this story because it gives you the vision of what actually going on. To be honest, I wish he actually started from here. You know what I mean? Just to because obviously, but I guess at the same time, for him to give that timeline and for me to even realize, okay, when did they film that movie? Cool. If they filmed that movie from this time to this time, and then at the end of that specific month of when they filmed that movie, okay, it's still in New York. So at the end of the month, guess what? He's going to the studio, and that unfortunate incident happened. You get it? So it's just, for me, everything is about timeline. So I'm glad he broke that down, and now we're understanding, okay, let's see how he came across the information to be able to verify whether it was correct or incorrect. Because before you even tell someone the information, you have to try and verify that information. You can't just give them false information because, do you know what I mean? There's consequences. Do you know what I mean?
Like house gang, tell the CO turn the radio up.
Right, exactly. Change the channel.
Yeah, change the channel. Yeah, I know what that is.
I mean?
Yeah,
House gang, right?
Okay, right.
So house gang is doing their thing. I'm in my cell. I'm not asleep, but I have my headphones, the Walkmans, the Sony Walkmans back there. And I had my
Trust me, dog.
Headphones on, and I'm listening to something. I don't know what it was. And the house gang guy, I'll never forget it. He's banging on my cell. The TV is on, but I'm not watching TV. He's banging on my cell. And he's like, yo, your cousin just got shot 5 times in the head.
Oh, wow.
Me, just like that. Like, yo, your cousin just got shot 5 times in the head. 5 times in the head. And I'm like, what? I can hear what he said. I heard what he said.
Right.
And I take my headphones off. I'm like, 5 times in the head. And he's like, it's on the news. It's on right now. It's on the news. And what I see is Biggie and Puffy outside. I see sirens. I see officers. I see a crime scene.
Okay.
Right? In front of Quad Studio. And I hear the reporter saying Tupac Shakur has just been shot 5 times. They don't say 5 times in the head. They just say 5 times.
Right.
Right. So I'm like, damn. This is 2 days after I got arrested.
Right.
So I'm like, damn. You know, I'm like, wow.
Because them ones there,
they tried to kill
you're with someone and you feel like, and then something happens, like when you're not with them, and then you feel like it's your fault. Because it's like, what would have happened if he was with him? Like, it's so life, and you can't get me. It's hard. It's a bitter pill to swallow, to be real with you. But anyway, listen, I forgot to even mention, if you're watching this so far and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching this so far and you haven't, you know what I mean? Like, listen, like I said, hit the subscribe button. That's one thing. But also make sure you like, make sure you follow. Make sure you share as well. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's keep it moving. Let's go.
Right. So I'm like, damn. This is 2 days after I got arrested.
Right.
So I'm like, damn. You know, I'm like, wow. They tried to kill him. So I'm like, you know, I can't really describe how I'm feeling except for I'm not really there in my Like I'm in jail, dude, right? So I got to deal with jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm in jail. I got to deal with these niggas. They talking about Pac getting shot. I got to check a nigga if he say the wrong shit. You feel me? Like I'm in that mode.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because, you know, people talk, and you might hear somebody say they should have killed them. And then I got to check them, you know, or not check them. You know, I got to be aware of my safety. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in that type of mindset. Until about a day or so later, I get transferred. I don't know why I get transferred. I'm in the same building, but I get transferred to a different quad.
Okay.
And I run into an old friend of mine from Brooklyn. We came up together. We came up through Rikers Island together. I was not born, but I was I was literally raised on Rikers Island.
Right.
Because you've been there so many times. I hear it. It's not, I shouldn't even laugh, but he said it, not me.
I spent all my teens and my 20s and some of my 30s on Rikers Island.
Okay.
So he was also raised on Rikers Island.
Right.
He's from Brooklyn, and he knew all the Brooklyn, the grimy Brooklyn cats. Right. He knew. And we see each other and hey, what's up, man? Long time, blah, 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 blah. Last time I saw you, blah, 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 right? And we kicking it. And we talking about some of the old mutual friends, not friends, but associates and partners that we came up with in Brooklyn. Right. And, you know, through Rikers Island. And I asked him about a couple of people. He asks me about a couple of people. And, you know, we say, oh, he's doing okay. One guy became a preacher. Oh, yeah, he became a preacher. And then I asked him about Tut. And he said, oh, Tut. He said, Tut, oh.
This is King Tut.
Yeah. This is where the information comes interesting. Do you see how he's breaking this down? He's not waffling. He's basically saying exactly from the experience of, you know what I mean? Like, cause this is how it is. Yeah, you can say it's from one guy to the next, like hearsay, like you know that hearsay for me. She say, he say, she say. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're like, oh, that's some rubbish information because he wasn't there. But if you are familiar with that person and they are telling you exactly what it is, then and you trust them as a source of information, of course you're gonna believe them. But I'm not saying that's what he's saying in this video. Don't get it twisted. I'm just reacting. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Yeah.
King Tut. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
King Tut.
Right.
Yeah. He was known as King Tut too.
Okay.
Yeah. But we just called him Tut. But yeah, he's like, yeah, Tut. Tut just got out of jail. He just came home. He just shot 2 detectives. He beat the case. He had a case. He shot 2 detectives that came into a barbershop in Brooklyn looking for him. Mm-hmm. And this is documented. You can dig this up.
Right.
That
Okay.
case.
Right.
And he went to trial on that case and he beat the case.
Oh.
So he's telling me about that case. And I'm like, wow, because I hadn't seen Tut, like this is 1991 or 92. I think this is 92 going into 93.
Right. Yeah.
And I hadn't seen Tuck since like before I went up north. I went up north in 87. I came home in 90. And then I went back up north and I did the rest of my time. I had 6 months left on parole.
Okay.
I had 6 years. So anyway, I think I seen Tuck the last time was like 86.
Okay.
Right? So he says, yeah, he just came home and he the one that shot Tupac.
Wow.
There you go. There you go. And this is what's so interesting to me with this piece of information here. If you think about it, remember in that video, I don't know if you saw the live stream. I don't know if you did, but if you did, thank you. But in that live stream, I was actually saying in that video, I was literally saying, if you really, well, maybe I didn't say it verbatim, but like you claim to care about Tupac and you know about Black Panther, this, that, and the third, but hang on. You would have known that, okay, well, maybe, like, you would know that it's his cousin that shared the information. Okay, if it's his cousin that shared the information, you would have known who that cousin was. You would have been like, you see what I'm saying? Because even he just said, the last time he saw King Tut was in the 80s, in the late 80s. That's the last time he saw him. So when you think about it, and you know when you're catching up with someone, obviously you're gonna talk and some people will reveal certain information because they feel like that they are comfortable telling you that information, knowing what you're gonna do with that information, or maybe what you will not do with that information. It depends on what that information is. Do you get it? So, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like sometimes in life, it's like there's not even something like this. There's literally no point in lying. Like it was better for King Tut to just keep quiet. But like I said, now that I know that LaShawn or Lashane, now that I know that he knew of King Tut, or you know what I mean, in the late 80s, I now really want him to sit down with King Tut and find out the actual information. Like, do you know what I mean? And if that person who told him is still available, okay, that person also needs to be in the room too. And that lie detector test needs to be available too. You know what I mean? And put it on the live stream so everyone else can see it and watch it available. You know what I mean? And then we'll see, yeah, what's up. But then, regardless of whatever happens, if that information turns out that it is true that he was involved, what's it really gonna solve? Maybe it will give a lesson that you shouldn't hold on to a lie. You should just tell the truth, but at the same time, because it's not like he's gonna be like the most like sought after. I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean. It's like he's already made himself the bad guy by actually having a notorious reputation for being a stick-up kid. So I don't know. Doesn't make a difference, does it?
He didn't know Tupac was my cousin, the guy that's telling me this. He
Right.
didn't know I was related to Tupac.
Okay.
He's just saying, yeah.
You see, the person telling him did not know at the time that Tupac was his cousin. See, this is what I like sometimes in life, yeah? Sometimes if your cousin is of like someone, like a certain name or whatever, you don't have to mention it. You don't have to say, oh, this is my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Even if you look similar to them or have some similarities in terms of the way you speak, or you know what I mean, the way you sound, or you know what I mean, or your mannerisms, like for some people that it's different because obviously some people are like, oh, you remind me of, they could be like, oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Or you know what I mean? Or it could be a thing where some people are like, yeah, some people are like, are you related? And sometimes it's a case of, why do you want to know if we're related or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to do with that information? That's another thing. But it's like, I'm glad he broke it down this way. He didn't know we were related. He didn't know that Tupac was my cousin. He didn't know. He didn't know. So, and this is the thing when telling stories to each other or telling stories in general. Sometimes you share information, you mention names. That other person doesn't know that you know that other person, like in a direct way. Do you get it? That's how small this world is. It may be a big world, but it's very small. But anyway, let's keep it moving.
And yeah, because it was just on the news. He's the one that shot Tupac. And I said, oh, really? And I didn't tell him Tupac was my cousin. I didn't say, yo, that's my cousin.
Right.
I didn't say nothing. I just...
You see, he kept it solid. He kept it solid because if you think about it, you don't know if that other guy also knows King Tut personally, and you don't know. Do you know what I mean? You just don't know. So sometimes you do have to be careful with saying, "Oh, that's my." Do you know what I mean? Because that could do more harm to Tupac, if anything. And obviously, he had to protect himself in jail as well. So it's like it's a catch-22. What do you do in this situation? Let me know in the comment section below. What would you do in that situation? But anyway, like God forbid it ever happens. But I'm just saying, you'll never walk alone. I know. Listen. I'm watching the Liverpool game as per usual live. I'm watching Liverpool playing, and when I'm live streaming, they always win. So they're gonna win again today. If they do not win, I'll be extremely, extremely shocked. Like, no joke. No joke. Back to the video. Let's go. Back to the live stream.
Let him talk, and he gave me, a little bit of more information about that. And he told me it was tight.
Wow.
And I knew he knew, because they from the same area. I know he know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even his body language, like I said, read body language. Even from his body language, I'm not just saying that being like obviously being a Tupac fan, but like being biased. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just saying it from a biased point of view. Like, his body language, because even with the King Tut one, I honestly wanted to believe that he was genuinely innocent. But then again, at the same time, I didn't know what to believe. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what you're going to hear. You really do not know. But then the funny thing is the fact that when I see his body language towards the end, I was like, nah. There's too much. There's too much jealousy. Too much. You can tell that he's involved somehow, some way. Whether he pulled the trigger or not, I don't know. Whether you organized it, I don't know. All I'm gonna say is body language tells a lot. Like, body language is more than just your physical body. It's like your facial expressions as well. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like I don't know, like, even when he was just talking about, like, look watch. Look at LaShawn's body language when he talks, yeah? You can tell how truthful he is being. Like, you got to bear in mind, this interview was way before the King Tut video. Like, way before. So, do you see what I'm trying to say? Otherwise, that would have been mentioned. I don't know. And let's move in.
Was related to Tupac.
Okay.
He's just saying, yeah, because it was just on the news. He's the one that shot Tupac. And I said, oh, really? And I didn't tell him Tupac was my cousin. I didn't say, yo, that's my cousin.
Right.
I didn't say nothing. I just let him talk. And he gave me, a little bit of more information about that. And he told me it was tight.
Wow.
And I knew he knew, because they from the same area. I know he know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, the way he did his eyes.
That's what
I know he know. Like, that I can't even, like, do that body language in regards to the eyes, like the way he did that. Like, when you know someone knows, and you're like, I know they know. Like, there's something you naturally do with your eyes that you can tell. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, right?
That's when I found out who shot him. I realized that if I had been with Pac at that time when he went to the studio, if I had been with him, I'd have recognized him. He'd have recognized me. I don't think that would have happened.
Okay.
Because I know it wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Because we like Tut and I, we grew up in Rikers Island too. He grew up on Rikers Island.
Right.
Tut was a well-known stick-up boy.
See?
He was well-known. He had a gift.
You see what I mean? Let's keep moving.
He stuck up his own mom's church. We knew that. You know what I'm saying? But he had a gift for that.
You know what? You know how I know you're telling the truth? Because I know somebody that knew Tut, that was like his neighbor. It's a female. And she told me the same story.
Yeah.
So
he had a gift. He was gifted.
Right.
And he could fight too, man. He had good hand skills. Right. And he got money. He was making money. Plus he did other things. Like he boosted. Right. He played the shot. These little games. That's pickpocketing.
Okay.
With a chick, like a chick, he'll ride with a chick and play and he'll hold it down or whatever. He was a player.
Right.
But he was also a stick-up boy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I knew him. You know what I'm saying? Just not like I never hung out with him or anything like that, but just, passing through Rikers Island, we see each other in Child, we see each other in the mess hall, we see each other in the gym or whatever. Right. We kick it, hey, whatever, we keep it moving. Or I'll see him in the street, we're in traffic, keep it moving. Yo, whatever, we keep it moving. That's how I knew him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I know if he'd have saw me, that wouldn't have happened.
Okay.
My cousin, he wouldn't have did it.
Wow.
Because he would have had to shoot me.
Right.
And I don't think he would have shot me.
Right.
maybe he would have.
Maybe he would have, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
Listen to this.
Even what that ending, the fact that he said maybe he would have, like maybe he would have. That is real. Like, I don't even. Yo. Let's see what the comments are saying. I know I really like this video. See, look, I told you, little Sean King Top was afraid to talk to me in jail. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm telling you that there's so many connections. King Tut explains why he never wanted to do an interview, but anyway, Anyway, let's read the comments. So this is like a year ago. I like how he admits that he was a short con player. Guys like these are the most believable because they never claim to be more than what they actually were, and they don't make themselves to sound more important than they were. Exactly. All right. Y'all are it with these interviews. Now his cousin, he was there and around. I can listed to genuine Park stories all down day. That man was special, downright special. 27 years after his departure, and we're still learning about the strength of Tupac. Bravo. And street one or two more comments. Dude was only 25 years old, unlike 27 years ago. We're still hearing news stories on a daily basis coming out. What a young legend. The dude was king. All right, one more. Art Dad will bring the heat with his interviews. First Park's dad, now his cousin, and Delroy is doing a great job. See? Oh my day, let's have scored. Let me guess, it's the Ghanaian that scored, right? Yep. Jordan Ayew. Hey, listen, you know what's funny? I know this football. Relax for a minute. I like the fact that he's trying to prove himself. I can't even lie. He's trying to prove himself. And he's scoring at first at Anfield. This is going to be a real test for Liverpool. It's a good goal. Well taken. Well experienced.
Deflection.
Jordan Ayew's 50th goal in English football. Congrats. Even Virgil van Dijk is clapping for him. No, he's not. He was just like, come on, let's get it, boys. Let's get this game. Let's prove to them that we will be champions of England. We can't lose this. We can't be consistent in being top at Christmas and losing the Premier League. You know what I mean? Because anyway, I'll talk about it in another video. But anyway, let's leave a comment. Let's see what I want to say. I'm going to say King Tut's interview brought me back here, and wow. Whatever the truth is, let us be real here. Stories are good, but the truth is and always will be better, and I believe Lesane. Sorry, that's not his name. His name is it William Lesane? Doesn't matter. I'll put Tupac's cousin. I believe Tupac's. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing. It's like, obviously, like, it's so, like, life is interesting, man. All I can say is life is interesting. Anyway, speaking of Tupac, let's just now react to something else.